Hi, it's John. It's early November 2023, and what I want to do in this video is deal with a particular air crash that happened in Alaska. It happened a couple of years ago, but a lot of so-called coincidences surrounding this one, and then also after this one, in the next couple of videos, I will be dealing mostly with more Alaskan air disasters, because there's a ton of them. And if you do a quick Google search, you'll see that Alaska now is #1 in air crashes in the States by a long shot, and a lot of coincidences around a lot of those air crashes, especially 5 particular ones. I'm going to get into those in most of the next couple of videos, not necessarily all of the next couple of videos. Like when I say couple, I don't necessarily mean 2. I mean the next several videos. You know, it could be 3, 4, 5, even 10. So within that number of videos, I'm going to be dealing mostly with the Alaska plane crashes and some helicopter crashes too, but it won't all be plane crashes, because I'm also going to return to the cell tower issue, because there's some new important developments on that issue as well. Just in fact, now early in November, I just came across a very important story that deals with cell tower safety and a group of people, I believe they're from the Education Board in Ontario, Canada somewhere, who are actually refusing to work because of a cell tower that they think is radiating them. So it's a really important issue, dear to my heart, of course, because of everything I've told you thus far that's been happening to me because of a cell tower that is either malfunctioning or is more than likely being hacked. When I say more than likely, I mean I'm 99.99999 infinite 99% sure that it's being hacked, and you know by now who I suspect. Okay, so again, there's new information coming up on that front, right? And also some more calls I made regarding that to other authorities here in Canada, and so I have that information I have to put together into at least another video or another couple of videos. So over the next several videos, whether that's 4 videos, 5 videos, 10 videos, I'm going to be dealing with the cell phone issue and with the Alaska airline crashes, because there's a bunch of them. Okay, so that's what's going to be happening for the next for the next little while, if I'm still alive. Okay, so now just give me a moment. I got some screenshots on my computer just over there that I have set up. So if you just give me a moment to get to those, I'm just going to focus on my shirt now, so I don't get distracted, right? So I'm just going to focus on my shirt now, so you won't be distracted by all the junk in the room, and I won't be distracted by looking at the screen until I get those ready. Okay, so just give me a couple of moments here. Okay, so I'm just about ready here. Again, I don't have editing software, so I got to do this the old-fashioned way. A little bit messy as far as the production value goes, but it's about the information here. This is not Hollywood. This is real life 2023, and I'm using a crappy camcorder, as I've mentioned before, and just taking screenshots with my video camera off the computer that I've made the screenshots before. So yeah, anyway, it's just about getting the information out there, that's all. Okay, so I'm going to start here with just one second here. I'm focused on the keyboard now again, so I don't get distracted by by looking through the viewfinder at the until I get it ready. Okay, so I had it ready, but then there's just wasn't exactly the way I wanted it, because there's a little column at the bottom of the screen there that pops up when you first start your screenshots, little mini pictures of the ones on the behind and after the current screenshot you're looking at. They give you the little menu at the bottom of the other ones, and then they block up part of the view on this one, right? So then if you once you get rid of them, then they stay off the screen, and then they don't obstruct the view from what you're trying to show. Like I said, I'm nowhere near an IT expert, and I'm just learning by trial and error. And you know, there's a lot of stuff with computers that you know, sometimes I think, you know, it's so confusing because I think some people actually who program these things, you know, sometimes I think they intentionally make it confusing. I don't know. Maybe it gives them some type of perverse joy or something. But I know some of it's incompetence. Like some of the stuff, some stuff is so complicated on computers that, you know, I think some of it is incompetence because the people who, you know, are programming it, they probably are such experts in everything computers that they don't understand what it's like for the regular person on a practical level to use it, right? Who doesn't know all the special tricks that they know. Okay, so anyway, this is a map of it's not very clear, but Christ, I can't see it through the viewfinder. Well, again, my eyes aren't as good as probably most people's. Okay, there it says Alaska there. So this is a Google map of Alaska. So there you are, Google there in the corner, in the address bar. So it's a map of Alaska, and then here is Canada right beside it. Okay, well, there's the dividing line between Alaska and Canada. This here's the Yukon territory in Canada, okay? But the other thing about Alaska is that it also borders on British Columbia, Canada, okay? Now, down here is British Columbia, Canada, okay? If you look right on the bottom there, you can see it says British Columbia. And up here, you see this line here. You see this line here? This is the line that separates British Columbia, Canada from Alaska, USA. This is still Alaska down here, okay? Most of Alaska's up here, right? Most of it's up here, and it's divided from Canada with this line here from the Yukon in Canada. That's where most of Alaska is, you know, up here, right? But it still does stretch down there. It stretches down here. There it goes. The screen is almost timing out. Yeah. Talk about technology. How many times have I complained about the screen timing out and I have to touch the mouse? Because I can't figure out how to make it not time out. I've looked at every possible feature I could find or setting I could find on this stupid computer, and I couldn't find anything to stop it from timing out by itself. So I got to touch the mouse pad every couple of minutes, otherwise it'll go dark. And if I wait another minute after that, then I'll have to put the passcode into this to access anything on here. Okay, anyway, so yeah, so the point is, Alaska still stretches down. Alaska stretches down here, all the way down here. So this is British Columbia here. This is northern British Columbia here, okay? But this is still Alaska on this side of the line, right? All the way down to here, okay? So this is where Alaska ends, and then from here on in, it's all British Columbia, you know, down there, you know, all the way down there, if you know, all the way down to Vancouver and Vancouver Island, which is just above Washington State. So I think that's important that I showed you that Alaska borders on British Columbia, because by now you know who has lived in British Columbia for a long time and probably still does, and that's my brother, okay? Now, this is, I'm probably gonna have to do a second video of this, of just this crash. I thought I could do it in one video, but as usual, I'm not gonna be able to. I can already tell I'm already 9 minutes into this one, so I'm not gonna be able to finish it in one video. So I'm gonna continue this with this airplane disaster in the next video. Okay, but for now I'll start it, get as much information as I can on there. So we saw the map. Now, this is a story from AlaskaPublic.org. There's your address bar if you want to, look up the same story. So Alaska Public Media, PBS, NPR, National Public Radio, PBS. Those are all American organizations, and I guess they got together to do this story, right? And then so here it says the NTSB, so that's the National Transportation Safety Board in the U.S. It says 2 pilots in fatal. I'm not going to be able to pronounce this name, so I'm sorry. I'm just going to say Soldotna crash. So that's in Soldotna, Alaska. Had unobscured view of each other's plane. Okay, and this story is from August 11, 2022, but the plane crash happened in in 2020. Okay, so that's where the first coincidence starts. Okay, just let me look down at my keyboard until I find the story. Okay, well, yeah. So the story starts on the very next page here. So it's still from the same. I think that's the same one that I showed before. Alaskapublic.org. Well, anyway, there's the address bar, yeah, it is. That's basically below the headline that I just showed on the other page. Again, I couldn't fit it all into one screenshot, right? Because they just won't fit. So here we are. This is telling you a little bit about it. Now, I want to. Okay, this is not where the date is though. I want to show you the date first because that's the first coincidence. Okay, so here we are. So that's the next page. Okay, so that's the next page. The next screenshot that I made from the same place. All that information is the same. I mean, again, if you go to that story, you'll find all that like on one scrolling page that goes down, right? Again, I couldn't fit it all in. So the first coincidence for that plane crash is it happened on July 31st, 2020. Okay. That's when it happened again. So that's the one in Soldotna, if I'm saying it right. Soldotna, Alaska. It happened on July 31, 2020. Okay, killing all on board, I believe, is a total of 7 people that perished in that disaster. Now, that's the first coincidence, July 31. Why? Well, by now, I've mentioned before about my about my brother's numerology fascination, about the significant numbers that keep coming up in a lot of these crashes, right? So I mentioned my brother's interest in numerology. He's been a numerology enthusiast for a long, long time. And I also mentioned before that from a numerological perspective, numbers can be looked at in various ways, including backwards, right? So that the 31 is actually a reverse 13, right? So, because if you're going backwards on a 31, you're getting 13, right? So there's the first coincidence, another 13. And again, a lot of 13s, either direct 13s or reverse 13s in the guise of a 31, have come up with a lot of these crashes, okay? And I haven't covered them all yet because again, I got a lot more crashes to cover, not just for Alaska, but in general, air crashes and surface vehicle crashes as well. So again, when you put all of those together, you'll see that the 31 comes up a lot. It's already come up in some of the crashes I've covered, and it's going to come up more. 31 comes up a lot, and again, that is the first coincidence in this one. Is the date? Okay, July 31, 2020. Okay, so that's number 1. Now then, there are more. The names, okay, but first of all, the 5 passengers on one plane. My stupid not computer, camcorder is getting blurry again. Sorry, God, this technology is driving me nuts. Okay, so so another coincidence here, besides the July 31, is the passengers on Bell's plane, 2 of the passengers were brothers, okay? McKay and Celeb, right? Well, I have a brother, right? So we're brothers, right? By now you all know I have a brother. So there's coincidence number 2, okay? Now I'm just going to point down here so I can concentrate more because this... Okay. So here's another coincidence. One of the airplanes was a Piper PA-12. Now remember, I was born on May 12th, okay? So there's another coincidence, all right? So now, just give me a few moments, and I'm going to go to a New York Times story for the same incident, okay? Okay, so here's a New York Times story for the same incident, and this one's dealing with the names, okay? The names and ages, okay? Now, I'm almost at 15 minutes now, so I'm just gonna end this one here now, and we're gonna resume on this page at the very beginning of the next video, okay? Okay, thanks.